Tom Van Zeller brings his big city fine dining background to his small town restaurant in Harrogate and is keen to bring in a younger clientele with fine dining without the fuss. The Good Food Guide describes Tom as a chef firing on all cylinders.
We got the Good Food Guide Restaurant of the Year, which is an amazing achievement. I think it's still sinking in, and I'm very proud of what we're achieving as a team. It's fine dining without the fuss. We've got to be humble and recognise that we've got a restaurant here that's open 5, sometimes 6 days a week in a provincial town. I want my restaurant to be attainable to everybody. I work for Tom Aitkins, and it was an amazing experience, and one that still has left a real impact on my mind as to how to make a dish look fabulous and look at different textures and colours and dimensions. So that's a very important part of what we do, and temperature contrast as well. So I think that was a massive influence. We look at seasonality, so when an ingredient wanes, we then have to change a garnish, and that gives us an opportunity to revitalise the dish or change the main component of the dish completely. We're using native lobsters from the East Coast. We're using a bit of Scarborough Woof, and we've put that onto a plate using tail, claw, nice pretty light starter. It's a bit like a lobster cocktail, if you like, with all the elements are there, the mayonnaise, the lettuce, the meat itself, but we're using lobster oil to make the mayonnaise, so there's no use for any kind of tomato product in it whatsoever. We can get the colour just from the oil itself. The claw and the arms are all wrapped into a roll, and we do that onto apple, so it's got a nice refreshing sort of bite to it. We serve a bit of tail piece warmed, and then we've got some Scarborough Woof, which is just into goujons. So you've got different textures there, you've got different temperatures, and it's a familiar dish, but we're able to put it onto the plate in a way that means we don't have to add any kind of supplement to it whatsoever. And one of the other things we look at very carefully are the economics of each dish. So it pays dividends to us to buy whole carcasses, and we're currently using whole piglets. So we take the whole piglet and we break the whole thing down and use all of it. And we make a croquette from the head. We'll serve a nice little pink piece of loin, or maybe even leg meat. If it's from the leg, it'll have been bathed. If it's loin, then we'll roast that to order. And then we do a nice little piece of belly as well, with a good little bit of fat in there. And we make lovely long sticks of crackling, which are good fun to munch. And we serve that with some braised baby gem and some gralotte onions, and like a pea francais, using the sort of mint, marjoram and lettuce, chicken stock, butter, and we've got a bit of the hock in there. We salt the hocks down, braise it, pick those down, so there's 5 bits of pig on the plate, and it's a good dish. It represents where we are currently. It represents good economics, good butchery skills, use of local ingredients, and it's seasonal. We've gone and got some little red glass bowls, and we set what is technically, I suppose, a pannacotta in the bottom of that, flavoured with Staranise. Then we've got some little liquorice meringues, only tiny wee things. We've tried doing them in black, but we can't dry them out enough, so they are white, but they taste of licorice. And then we've got about 3 or 4 different preparations of strawberry on the plate, dehydrated, fresh, and like a gel. And we put little fronds of fennel on there, and then a pine ice cream, which on its own is a bit bitter, but with the sweetness of the pannacotta, with the refreshing strawberries, it just works beautifully together. It's a fabulous dish, and it looks super. I mean, they're only cheap £5 bowls from Tesco's, but they do us just fine. My clientele their demographic is broadly similar. You're looking at from 40 through to past retirement, but younger than that, we don't really have a great deal of those younger people here. So it's quite a challenge for me from a marketing point of view to sort of try and bring those people on, because they're my future, that's my customers, that's my generation, and I've got to appeal to those people. So I don't want this stuffy, that's where we get this fine dining about the fuss thing. I don't want it to be a stuffy, formal environment where you can't have a drink and have a laugh and all that kind of thing. But we're in Yorkshire.